All right, what is going on, guys? And we're back at it again with, well, not again, but we are at it
Hey,
with Spider-Man.
Alice's the Underground are messing with a billboard.
But we are at it with Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, I'm not doing any gameplay video, any playthrough video. This is going to be me ranking every single suit in the game. Now, I have played. I'm pretty sure I played with almost every single suit in the game. Like about, I have no idea how many times. But this is going to be my ranking of the entire suit. So if you get offended, or please tell me what is your ranking of every single suit in the game, because I would love to know. I want to see if I can agree, or if you have my least favorite suit at your number one spot, which I think you should be in jail for. But this order is going to go from great to from best to worst, as I have it listed on my phone. Because when I first did this, I was kind of all over the place, so now it's all organized. But we're going to start with number one. Now, on my number one spot, it has to be the end suit. Now, the end suit is honestly just one of my personal favorite suits. I will never get old of it. Overall, I think it's just a really mean suit. It just says a lot, about Spot. Like, it kind of just something about the suit, like the way with the camo pants, the pretty much, the short jacket with the Spider-Man logo on it, and with the hoodie on. I don't like. Every time when I just use this suit, I just feel amazing when I, either fighting crime or I'm just swinging around or I'm just swinging around New York City. But that is why it's kind of at my number one spot. And not only that, I think this suit is just amazing for for photo mode. You can kind of just do anything with this suit, as you please. But at my number two spot, I'm gonna have to give it to Into the Spider-Verse suit. Now I do prefer this suit to be played in on the PS4 version, because it's kind of like a little bit, like it's kind of how do you describe, like, it just feels more animated when you do it, because it's a little bit glitched. The suit's kind of, it takes like a second or two, to do the animation or something. But that's why when I played the suit on the PS4 version, at first I didn't like it because the way the suit just moved and all that. But now I kind of do prefer, because it kind of just feels like you're actually, it feels like the suit's just animated with it. Now I wonder if 30 frames can actually go along, so we can see what I'm guys, so we guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, yeah, playing at 30 frames is wild. But let's see if I can get some gameplay with it though. I don't know, just playing at 30 frames, it just feels a lot more better. The suit actually feels like it came from Into the Spider suit, which is actually one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. But I kind of, every time I play with this suit, I kind of just want to play in 30 frames, because it doesn't run all that smooth. Kind of like how animations were in that movie. It didn't run smooth, but it definitely worked out well, in my opinion. But at the number three spot, if this outfit is not in your at least top fives, it has to go down to the Bodega Katsu. Now you get this suit after doing one of Teal's side missions, which is actually a character you meet in the beginning of the game. No, not at the beginning of the game. Like somewhere in the end game, or in the middle of the story, I forgot. But you also have to do side missions with him. But one of his side missions is that you have to find this guy that's also named Spider-Man. And what makes this suit so amazing, other than just it being one of the most funnest suits to play around in, that when you're doing finishers, the cat actually kind of does the finisher for you a little bit. It kind of just lets the opponent in the head, which I think is actually quite genius with the way that they did it. So you always gotta have this show at your number, at least in your top fives. But at number four, or at my number four, I know this sounds wild, but it has to go down to the homemade suit. Everything about this suit is just kind of like Miles crafted his own suit, like how Toby did. Well, not Toby, on how Andrew did in the Amazing Spider-Man 1, because if you guys see that movie, you guys know that he kind of created his own Spider-Man suit. Which, in my opinion, this is what it kind of reminds me of, but it's just done a whole lot better with the white, red, and black all combined together with the goggles too. Just everything about the suit, just amazing. I mean, I don't really have a reason why the suit is at my number 4 spot other than just me, you know, enjoying, just having a blast with it overall. Oh, that's kind of more of a stealthy suit too, just like, you know, kind of Miles' first time trying to create a suit. But that's why I like it. Now my number 5 spot, I know this sounds wild, but it has I'm going to give it to the Brooklyn Visions Academy suit. Because the thing about the suit is that what I like about it is so much that this is Miles. Like, this is what Miles has to deal with every time he's at school. He has the Spider-Man suit in case of anything. You know, he got his school backpack on. He got his Spider-Man suit underneath it, but with his school jacket, you know, on top of it, which in my opinion is just done so well. I don't know why. It makes like just walking around in it and pretty much doing anything with it. I like suits that have like a little bit more stuff to it, like, you know, having a hoodie on, or maybe a backpack for this instance. But, you know, that's the reason why I like this suit, and it's just overall really fantastic. A fantastic suit that Antonia came up with. So I'm gonna give it to number 5. Now number 6, I'm gonna have to give it down to the winter suit. Now I know I don't know. I feel like there's going to be people that are going to disagree with me, you know, with me kind of putting the Brooklyn Visions Academy suit over this suit. But I did rock with this suit for quite a while, but I know I did say that I like suits that have like a little bit more stuff to it. But this suit, in my opinion, it just doesn't do enough justice for me. Now I did rock with this suit for quite a while back when I played on the PS4 version. Which, you know, back then I probably would have had this in like at least in my top 5s. But now I don't. I kind of grown out of it. I think it's just a little bit too much now. Well, it's not a little bit too much. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the beanie or scarf or anything like that anymore. But, you know. By my number 7 spot, though. On number 7, I'm going to have to give it down to the classic suit. Now, the reason why I kind of have this suit at the number 7 spot, I mainly play this suit when I'm, you know, mainly just doing the regular story missions. In my opinion, it just goes along with it really well. I mean, even if you are using this in free roam, it does create a lot of great photo moments. You know, because you could actually get some, you know, some banger pictures with this suit on. If you know how to use photo mode really correctly, then, you know, you kind of get the best of it when you're using the suit. If you know how to use photo mode really well, and you're kind of like a artist with it, this suit is definitely the one for you. But at my number 8 spot, I'm going to give it straight down to the tracksuit. Now, I personally do like this suit for the way it is. It has that white, red, and black with it. Now, the reason why I like it, and it's kind of because with the white, there's a lot of white to it. And in this game, you know, it's winter season, and, you know, there's snow and all that. It's in New York, so obviously there's going to be snow. You know, the white kind of just matches with it. You know, with a little bit matches with the vibe of the winter season a little bit. Not too much, but also, you know, not a little. And when I first, you know, I kind of watched Corey play with this suit a little bit. That's why I kind of wore it for the first time. You know, then again, I kind of just, you know, I had fun with it for a little bit, but then, you know, I kind of outgrew it. Then I just found out that it's just overall my favorite suit in the game, so I haven't played with any other suits since then. But if I'm correct, now my number 9 spot is going to have to be the sportswear suit. Now this suit, you get it in the beginning of the game when you first play as Miles. Now the reason why this suit's kind of at my number 9 spot is kind of not a little bit higher is mainly because when I swing around with this suit, I feel like, you know, the swinging just been reduced and all that, which I kind of don't like, but this is a really good suit overall. I kind of like the jacket, you know, the Adidas that Miles has going along with it. And this Miles' first, you know, Spider-Man suit that you get to play with, which is overall a really great suit. But at number 10 spot, I'm going to give it to the Purple Rain suit. Now, this suit is a suit that you get after doing all the mixtapes that Uncle Aaron, you know, gives you, which is just pretty much finding locations of where the beats came from. After doing all that, Uncle Aaron, he tells you the story on what happened between him and your dad, and he also gives you the suit that's, you know, a little bit identical to the Prowler suit which he wears with the purple and green, but it's not all that identical because he has like a beefier mask with it. And this one's just, you know, it's like a, you know, it's just Spider-Man mask, obviously. But this suit is really good for stealth, in my opinion. If you're getting photo mode and you're doing stealth, this suit overall is just a really amazing suit to do it with. Because not only that, the Prowler Uncle Aaron, he was a thief, and obviously when you're a thief, you have to be stealthy. So, you know, when you're doing stealth missions and all that, and you kind of want to create a photo mode with it, or a photo opportunity, this suit is definitely the one to do it with. But at number 11, I'm going to have to give it down to the Spider-Man 2020 suit. Now, I barely even use this suit at all. But, you know, every time I do play with it, I kind of do like it because it's a little bit more funky, you know. It gives out that funky, you know, that funky side of it. You know, especially for listening to music with this suit, it's definitely the one to go along with. You know, with having that, definitely not 2020 type mask with it, like more of a futuristic mask, like maybe 2025. I don't know. We are getting close to 2025, but this mask, this suit overall is just really fantastic. If you're listening to like Daft Punk or something, and you're just playing Spider-Man, I feel like this suit definitely does do its justice. But this is something I definitely wouldn't wear in the story mode. So, but you know, this is, you know, like I said, this suit's on my number 11 spot. But number 12. Now, number 12, I'm going to add the animate suit, and I'm not a big fan of this suit, mainly because we already have an Into Spider-Verse suit, which in my opinion is just a lot more better than the animate suit. But don't get me wrong, the animate suit it's a good suit, nonetheless. But no, since we already had the Into Spider-Verse suit, which is a little bit better, and you know, kind of, I'm not a big fan of more anime suits, especially the one in Spider-Man 2018 with some of the, you know, with some of the anime suits. I'm not a big fan of these type of design suits in Spider-Man. I've never been a really big fan of it. That's why it's kind of a little bit lower on my list. But at number 13, I'm going to have the Uptown Pride suit. Now, this is a suit that you get after doing all the Spider-Man app activities. And Harlem, they reward you with this outfit, telling you know, thank you for protecting Harlem and all that. But, you know, the reason why this is just kind of at my number 13 spot, if I'm correct. Yeah, my number 13 spot. Like, I'm not a big fan of black and yellow with the suit. I don't know why. In my opinion, it just doesn't go along. You know, we already have the black and red suit, but, you know, I'm not a big fan of the yellow or gold that this suit comes along with. So, that's why it's kind of not, like, somewhere in my number 10 spot. So yeah, but at number 14 though, I'm gonna have to give it to the I think it's called the Spider-Man training suit. Now, the suit, in my opinion, it is definitely a cool design idea. I like the way that it kind of has that, you know, that Peter Parker mask along with it. With, you know, I think if I'm correct, I have no idea. I have to zoom in on this. Let's see, Brooklyn Academy. Now, I forgot who went. Oh yeah, Miles. Miles goes down to Brooklyn Academy. I think this is just like a school jacket that you buy off of it, that he probably bought. Now, in my opinion, it's a decent suit. Don't get me wrong. I kind of do like the Peter Parker Spider-Man mask with it, but it's a decent suit, nonetheless. But it's definitely not one of my personal favorites. It's something I wouldn't mainly go around with. But at my number 15 spot though, we're going to give it down to the Advanced Tech suit. Now, the reason why this suit's kind of at my number 15 spot is because it reminds me a lot of the programmable matter suit, and I'm not a big fan of both suits, especially the programmable matter one. That's definitely not my favorite suit in the game. But I just kind of, like I said, I'm not a big fan of these type of design ideas with these type of suits. It's a decent suit nonetheless, but I don't know, something about it just isn't that amazing to play with. I'm like, I don't know, it's just too techy for me, a little bit too techy. You know, the Spire logo is kind of, it's okay with the suit, but it's, you know, I feel like it could have been done better. But at number 16 is going to be the 2099 suit. Now, this suit is, like, it's a decent suit, but it is a 2099 suit, and, you know, when you kind of think of, oh, Spider-Man 2099 suit, you kind of think of, you know, Miguel's suit. which is the one that we're going to see across the Spider-Verse suit. In the Cross the Spider-Verse movie, I don't know why I said Cross the Spider-Verse suit. But this suit, like, it does its thing, you know. I like how the eyes are just glowing blue, but kind of grew out of it. Like, there's a lot of suits that grew out of it that kind of just makes me rank them lower than in my number type, than me just struggling who's in my number 5. But this suit, it does its thing from time to time, you know. Like, it's decent. I think it definitely worked well with photo mode, you know, especially with the glowing eyes. And if you get the lighting right, this suit can definitely go hand in hand with 2. But this suit, it's a decent suit. I kind of just don't like the entire onesie with it. I don't think it's not a onesie, but I don't like how it's just a one-piece suit with the hoodie on top. I'm not really a big fan of it. But I'm a number 7. I'm going to give it down to the strike suit. Now, the strike suit, in my opinion, is a really dope suit. Which it's a suit that you mainly use which is going loud instead of doing stealth. You know, especially with your Venom powers, it definitely goes. You know, it's kind of like your peanut butter and jelly combo. You know what I'm saying? You got the Venom, and you got the loudness with the suit. But it is a little bit bulky for me just to be swinging around. I'm not a big fan of bulky suits when I'm swinging around. I kind of do prefer my leaner suits. But, you know, this suit, that's why it's kind of ranked low. It probably would have been higher if I did prefer to swing around with it, but I'm not a big fan of swinging around in this suit. This is a suit like where if I'm really about to enter combat and I'm going to go loud, this is a suit that I'll go with some of the times. But at my number 18 spot, I would give it down to the Crimson Cowl suit. Now, the reason why this suit is kind of like my number 18 spot, like, this reason is going to sound so dumb, but I think there's just like a whole lot of red with it, and that's why I'm kind of not a big fan of it. It's just too much red in my opinion. Now the PS5 graphics, it definitely does its justice with this suit, but I kind of don't like this suit all that much. I kind of don't like the onesie idea, and there's like a whole lot. No, okay, wait, hold up. I like the onesie idea, but you know, mainly because of the PS5 graphics, it does its justice. But I don't know, this suit, it kind of just pushes me down a little bit. It's just a lot of red when I look at it, and it's definitely not my preferred suit for either swinging around or doing combat or doing anything with the suit. That's why it's ranked at number 18, but overall it's definitely a good suit. I'll probably give it like an 8 out of 10. But at my number 19 spot, I don't care what anyone says, a great responsibility suit. It's one of the worst suits in the game. I have no idea. Like, I understand this was Peter Parker's gift to Miles for having his own, you know, Spider-Man idea. But I don't know, man. Something about this suit, I just never been a really big fan of it, you know? Like, it's like a kid who just got like a Spider-Man costume on Christmas, but their parents got it from like Walmart for like about $10. Now, no hate to the boys that have to, you know, go at Walmart to get costumes. No hate. But I'm just saying, this is a suit that you'll probably see like inside a Walmart. And, you know, to get something for your kid to go on trick-or-treating, but I don't know, I just don't like the spandex. The logo is just horrible, and the eyes, they kind of just pop out like a whole lot. Like, look at this. The eyes, like, no, it's definitely not it. But yeah, and this suit, like I said, you already get it with Peter Parker in like the second mission, or, you know, after you do something with him. But going to the last suit of the game, it's going to be the programmable matter suit. Now, the reason why this suit ranks so low is because the way it just looked, man. It is just way too like, it's just way too metally, man. It's like if you did Spider-Man to like metal, like melted metal. Melted metal. It's kind of like you just dip them in there, and he's like, "All right, guys, I got a new suit with a little bit burnt to it." Definitely not my favorite suit. Now, don't get me wrong, the Spider-Man logo is amazing on this suit, but man, this suit's just definitely it's not it. But you do get this suit after you do one of the underground outposts, and that's where you get the suit after, you know, you do an underground outpost, and then you do a side mission where you go along and get the suit. But yeah, it's kind of it with the. That's how you get the suit. That is gonna be, the end of this video. I'm pretty sure it went by pretty quick in my opinion with the editing. It's gonna be a quite short video. Now I'm sorry if my voice also does sound bad. I'm a little, kind of going through a fever or cold right now. I have no idea. My throat. Sometimes I have to, cough and I get, a runny nose and all that. So that's why my voice is a little bit, horrible in this video. But I'm trying my best. But for everyone that stayed here and just watched a video of me ranking all 20 Spider-Man Miles Morales suits, thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video.